on the south side of the city. Officers arrived and found an adult male with multiple gunshot wounds when they arrived. Life-saving aid was being rendered, and he was transported by ambulance to Hennepin County Medical Center, where he was later pronounced deceased. Based on the information that we have, which is very limited, this is a 37-year-old white male who is a Minneapolis resident, and we believe he is an American citizen. We have not been told any official reports of what has led up to the shooting, but we have seen the video that is circulating on social media. Our demand today is for those federal agencies that are operating in our city to do so with the same discipline, humanity, and integrity that effective law enforcement in this country demands. We urge everyone to remain peaceful. We recognize that there's a lot of anger and a lot of questions around what has happened, but we need people to remain peaceful. In the area, we have an unlawful assembly at this time. Minneapolis police have given multiple warnings for the crowd to disperse. We are asking for people to avoid the area and to leave if you are there. We have requested mutual aid from the Minnesota State Patrol and from all our local and county regional partners. We ask everyone to remain calm and to please do not destroy our own city.
I just saw a video of more than 6 masked agents pummeling one of our constituents and shooting him to death. How many more residents, how many more Americans need to die or get badly hurt for this operation to end? How many more lives need to be lost before this administration realizes that a political and partisan narrative is not as important as American values? How many times must local and national leaders must plead with you, Donald Trump, to end this operation and recognize that this is not creating safety in our city? As you'll hear from Director Sayer in just a second, we have seen these kinds of operations in other places, in other countries, but not here in America. Not in a way where a great American city is being invaded by its own federal government. I'm done being told that our community members are responsible for the vitriol in our streets. I'm done being told that our local elected officials are solely responsible for turning down the temperature. Just yesterday, we saw 15,000 people peacefully protesting in the streets, speaking out, standing up for their neighbors. Not a single broken window, not a single injury.
And this is what we need. You need more protests. You need to make the administration understand this is bullshit, what they're doing. Bullshit.
Those peaceful protests embody the very principles that both Minneapolis and America was founded upon. Conversely, the mass militarized force and unidentified agents who are occupying our streets, that is what weakens our country. That is what erodes trust in both law enforcement and in democracy itself.
Why do they need to be masked? Why do they have masks on? If they're doing the right thing all the time without when people not looking, why do they have masks on?
So to everyone listening, stand with Minneapolis. Stand up for America. Recognize that your children will ask you what side you were on. Your grandchildren will ask you what you did to act to prevent this from happening again, to make sure that the foundational elements of our democracy were rock solid. What did you do to protect your city? What did you do to protect your nation? This is not what America is about.
President needs to have those people, those ICE agents, stand down immediately. Stand down immediately until there's some order with this chaos. It's too hot for them to have them there.
This is not a partisan issue. This is an American issue. This administration and everyone involved in this operation should be reflecting. They should be reflecting right now and asking themselves, what exactly are you accomplishing? If the goal was to achieve peace and safety, this is doing exactly the opposite. If the goal was to achieve calm and prosperity, this is doing exactly the opposite.
Exactly the opposite. Both sides need to calm down. But specifically, the order from the president needs to come and make sure that everybody disperses, even the ICE agents.
Are you standing up for American families right now? Or are we tearing them apart? The invasion of these heavily armed mass.
Yes, he can. The president can do, your president can do whatever he likes according to this fucking time line. Apparently, he can do whatever the fuck he wants, which means he can tell people to stand down. He can tell the ICE agents to stand down.
Agents roaming around on our streets of Minneapolis, emboldened with a sense of impunity. It has to end. This is not how it has to be.
And people talking to you and telling you you're a piece of shit doesn't mean that you attack them. And a lot of this stuff is agitated, and I get that. But you still know how to do your job professionally. And just because somebody calls you an asshole doesn't mean you hit them with a baton.
So, to President Trump, this is a moment to act like a leader. Put Minneapolis, put America first in this moment. Let's achieve peace. Let's end this operation, and I'm telling you, our city will come back. Safety will be restored. We're asking for you to take action now to remove these federal agents. Director Sayre.
Yeah, this has been ratcheted up by the people, by the ICE agents. It was started by the ICE agents. It was started by this whole narrative that the Minneapolis people needed to be attacked. I get it that you got to find foreigners. I get that you got to find all of that. But you don't need to be doing what you're doing. You're doing extra. And the extra is what we're telling you to stop doing.
My name is Rachel Sayre, and I am the Director of the Emergency Management Department for the City of Minneapolis. I took this job to keep us safe because I live here, and this is my community. We are doing everything we can to mitigate the impacts of this terrible situation. The city's Emergency Operations Center continues to be activated, as it has throughout the surge in federal agents over the last few weeks. We are tracking impacts and coordinating the city's response to this situation, which is having profound repercussions in our community. I can't underscore enough how much Operation Metro Surge is impacting our city. Families with loved ones detained and those who are afraid to be in public lest they become targets need help accessing the most basic necessities like food, housing, and rides to school. Businesses are shuttering and our local economy is severely impacted, which means families are suffering just as we were rounding a corner in our recovery. Many of our Minneapolis residents, my neighbors, my friends, my community members, are ceasing participation in public life, afraid to even go to the doctor.
Yeah, they were having an economic shutdown. Is that happening today or did it happen yesterday? An economic shutdown. Maybe we need to have an economic shutdown all across the country. Maybe the administration will get it then. Maybe they'll get exactly what we're saying that we don't want. Maybe it needs to be far beyond Minnesota's borders.
In response, the city enterprise continues to utilize our entire emergency apparatus. That means staff across departments, often around the clock, are putting their regular jobs on hold in order to respond to the impacts of Metro Surge. I want everyone to know there are numerous resources available to community members right now. We have mental health help available. We have food assistance, housing and rental assistance, legal help. We are sharing information about what to do if you are exposed to tear gas, pepper spray, or other chemical agents. And the state AGs and ACLU are collecting reports of rights violations. You can access these resources on the city's virtual resource center at minneapolismn.gov/ICE. Please share this information with your neighbors. We have help and we want you to be able to access that. My background is in international humanitarian response in conflict zones.
Yeah, that's exactly what the president wants to do. That's a good way to put it. Terrorize the whole country just to get your way. This is what is called fascist. This is the first step in a fascist regime is to try to dumb down the media. Get rid of the media. Change what the media says. Change the narrative. That's the first sign. Second sign is get your people in order. Militarize the police and make them come to your city. Do all the things that's happening right now. This is the beginning. It's the beginning. And this is why we say this is the beginning of fascism or the beginning of authoritarianism. This regime or this, administration has been trying to do this from the beginning when they got in office.
In Yemen, Haiti, Syria, Iraq, and Ukraine. What I've seen here is what I've seen there. A powerful entity violently and intentionally.
Y'all sound dumb as hell. You sound dumb as hell. Why y'all be saying the dumb shit? Y'all sound dumb as hell. You sound dumb as hell. You depending on a scammer to help you out of problems. You sound dumb as hell. A criminal to help you get out of the criminal. You sound dumb as hell.
Terrorizing people, making them afraid to go outside so they can't earn a living, so that kids are forced out of school. This has a lasting generational impact. People can't plan a single day of their lives because they don't know who is around the corner and if their family member.
That's not the whole of the country. Why you goofies don't get that that's not the bulk of the country that voted for your president? Why y'all dumb and don't know how to do math? The bulk of the people did not vote for the president.
Or neighbor is about to be taken away. In these times, you see both the best and the worst. The worst is the terror and the feeling of helplessness. The best will continue to be our community's response. The way we are showing up for each other, that is in the absolute worst of times. We're showing up for each other in the absolute worst of times. I'll turn it back to the mayor. Thank you.
Just dumb. Don't know how to do math. Just dumb. Just dumb. 75 and 77. Having 77 million votes and the other person having 75, and I think 90 that didn't vote, doesn't mean the majority voted for him. The majority didn't vote for him. It was a minority. Just dumb.
We'll open it to questions.
We are seeing an incredible volatile situation unfolding right now around that scene. Is there any communication right now between local and federal law enforcement or cooperation, or where do those efforts stand to try to calm what's going on down there right now?
This shit right
I'll
here.
turn it to the chief to answer.
Look at this goofy shit right here.
So the question was, there is an incredibly volatile scene in South Minneapolis right now, and the extent of communication with law enforcement agencies. We have established a command post that is led by Minneapolis Police, and there are representatives from all of the regional, local, county, and state organizations. We have had communication with Homeland Security, but they have not been able to provide us any specific details around the incident itself. We are responsible for ensuring the safety of people on the streets of our city, and we are doing everything that we can to maintain the peace right now led by Minneapolis Police, but with the help of the Minnesota State Patrol, Hennepin and Ramsey County Sheriffs. Several suburban towns are in the city helping us with 911 calls. We have done an emergency recall of all sworn personnel back to duty. And we are working with the fire department right now to ensure that 2 small fires that were started in the area are safely extinguished. But again, we need everyone to avoid the area if possible. And the people who are in the area, we understand your frustrations. This is not sustainable. But we need people to.
Of course, it's not sustainable. Look at the goofy shit. Just goofy on a whole nother scale. What part of majority vote? It wasn't the majority of the voters. That's why, goofy. The majority of the voters, that's not the majority of the voters. Who voted for him was not the majority of the voters. Just dumb. Just dumb for no reason. Go do the math.
To leave the area at this time. We have communicated with the National Guard. They have been on standby for several days.
And why would I need to go back to China? I'm not from China. I'm from here. I'm more American than you are, dummy.
We have ensured the National Guard, as well as all of the local law enforcement partners, are aware of the situation.
Chief and Mayor, if I can ask you, this is a statement from Tricia McLaughlin, spokesperson for DHS. She said in her—
This is wild right here. This right here is wild. Shut up, y'all. Shut up. Go do the math. Stop talking to me about the majority. Please, stop talking to me.
But the armed suspect violently resisted more details of armed struggle. Fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers that Agent Fire says he did not. Medics on the scene being reported in the United States. Is that what happened?
So Minneapolis Police, the question was, you read a statement from DHS saying that a weapon was presented and there was attempts to disarm the person. Again, like I stated earlier, Minneapolis Police, as well as our supervisors, our watch commander, responded to the scene. We were not provided any public safety.
Ain't that crazy? Ain't this crazy? Give up my rights so it can be done. Give up my Fourth Amendment rights. Let you come in my house and search my house just so you can be nice. Ain't that wild? Ain't that fucking wild? In order for you to come in my Fourth, you want to violate my right to come into my house because they did do a memo so these people can do that. That don't even make sense. Why would I give up my rights just so you be nice?
Statement around the incident, what happened. We have since seen a
on,
video that is circulating online, like thousands of other people have at this time.
Freaks like you that I can't
So
stand.
we do not know what
Freaks
happened
like you.
prior to the recording
Get the hell
that
on.
is online right now. I immediately called for the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension to respond to conduct an investigation. They are on the scene. I believe the FBI is on the scene as well. But I think the video speaks for itself. What I can tell you is we have identified this person, 37-year-old white male, resident of the city. The only interaction that we are aware of with law enforcement has been for traffic tickets. And we believe he is a lawful gun owner with a permit to carry.
So why did they feel the need to pull a gun out and shoot the man? See, that's a whole felt the need to shoot the man. He was brandishing a gun at the police, huh? Okay.
The question was, has MPD been cut out of the investigation and has the BCA been cut out? As I stated, I immediately requested the BCA to respond. It's my understanding that they are on the scene. I have not heard anything otherwise. There was initially some information was relayed to me over the radio that our officers were told that they were either not needed or could leave. And I gave a direct order to ensure that Minneapolis Police maintain the scene as well as other state and local law enforcement.
You notice they ain't gonna shoot no black people because us black people said we ain't coming out there. We ain't coming out there. Hell no, we already know. It'd be more bodies out there. And wouldn't nobody be giving a shit. They wouldn't be having no damn press conferences. That's the damn sure. That's why we ain't out there. And we gonna stay off the street. This is all white folks. This is all y'all fight. Half of y'all wanted this Donald Trump. The other half of y'all didn't. Then y'all fight it out. We black folks standing inside watching y'all. So all we gonna do, we gonna stand inside, watch us. See who wins. Let's see who wins.
Do you know whether it was multiple officers involved in the shooting or
So the question was, is there multiple officers involved in the shooting? That is the preliminary information. That is our understanding, that it was more than one law enforcement officer involved in the discharge. And again, there is public video that shows several law enforcement officers in a scuffle with someone.
Mm. If he pulled a gun out on police, that's a chance that he takes. He takes that chance. If you pull a gun out on a policeman, you take that chance. I'm not saying a human being deserves to get shot. All I'm saying is, why didn't y'all shoot him in the leg or something like that? I don't know. That's all I'm saying. You pull out a gun, you deserve what comes your way because you pulled out a gun. But that being said, we don't have no videotape, so I don't know. Maybe we do. I don't know.
Reports said that the victim here was 51 years old. The information that you have, where is that from?
So the question was, initial reports said the victim was 51. The information that I have is we sent Minneapolis police officers to the hospital with the individual who was shot, and they have since identified that person.
Why they didn't shoot his ass in the leg or something? Why do you have to fatally shoot the man? Just shoot his ass in the leg and Jesus. They had to shoot, they had to hurt him.
I do, and I'm not releasing it.
Are you able to talk, have you been able to talk with ICE and Border Patrol officials to ask them to please be in on this, or have you talked to them, or have you been rejected?
The question was, have we talked with federal law enforcement to be in on this? We have had conversations with Homeland Security Investigations this morning. We are told they do not have any information to share at this time, but we will attempt to maintain those communications going forward.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that? Do you believe that they have no information to share?
The question was, do I believe that they have no information to share at this time? I don't know if the individual that we were in contact with would or not. This is a Saturday morning. And just like it was for us, it is a scramble to do an emergency recall and to get people to the scene.
See, this is the kind of press conference I like. I don't like you being emotional, talking about get out of my city, doing X, Y, and Z. Although that's okay. This person is conducting himself reasonably. He's giving information. He's not emotional, and he's giving the facts. This is the kind of press conference that it's supposed to be like. It's not supposed to be you trying to spin a narrative and tell me exactly what I'm supposed to believe. Okay? This is not something that you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be relaying the facts. That's it. And that's what he's doing, which is how a press conference is supposed to go. Kristi Noem, on the other hand, just a freak.
All right, thank you guys. We'll have more information if we get any later throughout the day.
So there we are. Press conference. There we are. Somebody was shot. A 51-year-old man brandishing a gun. And so 5 officers tangled with him. He pulled out a gun, and then that was the end of that. So if the person brandished the gun, I can see why that happened. I can see why the person got shot. I understand that situation, that scenario. We don't have the facts, but if the person brandished the gun, I guess that would be the way that it's supposed to be, that they would shoot where not necessarily to kill, but I wish they would have shot just to harm or maim. But it is what it is. This is going to continue. It's going to continue until the president stands down, because the people are not going to stand down. Because this is their right to protest. And a lot of y'all be saying, oh, it's our right to carry a gun. We can carry a gun. We can do whatever. Okay, then fine and dandy. Y'all get on out there. Like I said, half the white folks voted for Donald Trump. Half the other group did not. Y'all fight it out. Y'all figure it out. We black folks ain't helping you. We not helping y'all no more. We tried to help you in November, but you didn't want to listen. We tried to help the Mexicans. We tried to help the immigrants. We tried to help everybody. We always trying to help everybody have the best outcome in this country. Black women are always trying to help everybody have the best outcome in this country. But we always get shit on for our choices, even though we were right all along. But hey, y'all solved that problem over in Minneapolis. Y'all hit the like, share, and subscribe. We'll be back. Of course, I'll have more content, but I wanted to carry that. Please Come back. I have more content. Love y'all. Love y'all. Love y'all.